For anybody tuning in, joining us for some Call of Duty is JG Quintel.
Good night.
Night.
It's only 7:30 and our daughter's in bed.
It's gonna be okay.
Is it, Josh?
Because we have no money and we live with a divorced couple in a cramped apartment.
I was reading this article about divorce sex and thought we could try it.
Awesome!
We were gonna have satisfactory marriage sex. They're gonna have gross, hot divorce sex. This is fun for the whole family.
On your left.
Hey! Nice family, loser.
People make too big a deal about test scores. Candace is fine.
I wrote my name.
Friday night?
You drinking it?
Uh-huh. Thanks for letting me pretend like I have enough free time to go to a concert. We're totally gonna kill it at the presentation.
Make those other kids' patches look like S-H-I-T.
Are you guys spelling?
Those teachers are good.
I'm not supposed to have candy.
Okay. Are you?
Candace, be careful.
No!
Choose your words.
Last night was so great.
Really great night.
Really, really great.
If you want to talk about the old show at all,
Sure.
the regular
Are we
show,
on right now? Is this happening?
we are good to go. Yes, my friend. So you
All
created
right,
the regular show. You also now you have a new one coming out. So feel free.
So yeah, regular show. That's gosh, it's getting old now. It ended in 2017, but we did about 8 seasons, and it was about a couple of buddies working at a job and friendship. And my new show, Close Enough, is kind of like picking up where that show left off. Where once you start getting into your 20s and into your 30s, you start to grow up, start to have a family, and dealing with those types of stories. So right when I got out of school and got my first job, I remember it was kind of like, oh, I got all these roommates. I had like 5, I was living with 5 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. And so I took some of that and put it into this show, like having roommates and then, getting married and having a family, like starting to have kids. Like it's all kind of combined into this show.
It's interesting to see something like this created based out of like you said, drawing from real life essentially, and it wildly relatable too. Even my wife and I mentioned the episode in the bar, and we just kept looking at each other and laughing every time there was like, wait, it's 9:35 or like 9:15. We're like, you just can't stay out the same way that you used to be able to. So I cannot wait for it to come out. I'm super excited to be able to watch everything, and I thought it was great. I thought you have a talent for telling a story that I think a lot of people will definitely identify with, especially from my audience because we're old as hell. So
It's for you. We're making it for you.
Well, I think it's a beautiful transition though, where the regular show, like you said, kind of left off. My little brother is a diehard regular show fan. He
Nice.
watched it and is now 19 years old, right? And so this pretty seamless transition into Close Enough, which I want to talk to you about the title a little bit as well. I'm intrigued as to where that kind of came from. I'd really love to know more of the genesis of the creation of Close Enough and why, and inspiration, and all of those good things. But we can chat about that in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, like I'm amped for him as a fan of your animation and a fan of just obviously comedic timing is everything, and these younger generations are smarter and quippier and faster and just frankly more fun than we were back in the day. And
A lot of content.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a sophistication, I think, about how you can seamlessly transition from a fantastic Cartoon Network, aired beautiful long series and into a new story with new characters and still have a very cohesive feel and all of that. It's really exciting to see.
Thanks.
Talk to me a little bit about kind of the genesis. Like, where did this begin? Why did it begin? Like, these characters are really rich, obviously, and I know that's stylistically speaking, that's your thing anyway. Like how you can have a bird and a gumball machine, just kind of be just normal people, and you
They were.
kind of forget about the fact that a gumball machine and a bird and a raccoon.
Jordan, they are
they're all
normal
just
people.
kinda
Okay,
normal
how dare
people.
you?
Yeah, no, it's really great. But like the richness, I think, in the storytelling there and the character development is all really fun. And it's cool to see like actual living, breathing human beings, obviously in animation in Close Enough. But I'm just curious as to like why it became what it became for you.
Well, as we were wrapping regular show, they asked me if I wanted to pitch something more adult, and I was like, yeah, I got an idea. And a lot of my work has always been a little self-referential. I like to like put, personal stories in, and I don't know if you noticed, but the main character kind of looks like me a little bit.
I was gonna say something. Yeah, I was gonna bring it up, but I was like, I don't know if that's an intentional thing, but
I don't voice that character though. We had someone professional come in. They just do a really good impression of me. No, but like I wanted it to be more about humans and adults, because regular show was definitely like more of like a kids show, but we definitely made it for ourselves, which is why it came off a little more adult and like plays to older audiences, I think. But this was more of an attempt to be like, no, these are humans. Like you could strip away the cartooniness of it and just make it about like real people. But then you go into, and this is something we did on regular show too, mundane, like everyday situations that everybody can relate to. Like we've all, gone out. Well, now I don't know. We've all gone out to a bar and been like, "Oh my God, I'm so tired. I can't handle it." And you're like, "It's not even that late. What happened to you? You've changed."
I try to avoid looking at my watch at all, just so we're on the same page. You just don't want to do that.
You feel it and then you leave.
100%.
But yeah, like regular show had all the stories about being buddies and goofing around and things like that. But we never really dealt with stories that had to do with families and trying to be responsible. And you still want to do the fun stuff, but now you've got like, rent to pay. You've got a job. You've got all this stuff that you've got to deal with. And so it's all about trying to find that balance and still have fun,
It's funny how like the mundane things can be like going to Disneyland. I watched an episode about the wife. Remind me the character's name.
Emily.
Emily going to open houses, and I have
Oh my
to say,
God.
like, that is one of my guilty pleasures in my life is going all around LA and going into open houses. Like typically if I have some time and I'm just driving through the hills or driving through wherever and I see an open house, like I will absolutely go step
Oh yeah, and there's no way you can afford it. You're like, I can't have this, but I still want to see it.
Right. Absolutely.
I can vouch 100%, and I know my wife is in chat, that having jars with sugar and like the labels on it is definitely one of those things that one day you aspire to have. I'm sorry, baby, but she made the labels herself for ours, and it's pristine. So I definitely, it's super relatable. Actually, along the lines of relatability. So these scenes, a lot of the stuff that we're experiencing, that is experienced in the show by the characters, is super relatable. For you, what do you feel like you identify closest with in any of the episodes, that, without spoiling too much, obviously?
Oh, there's tons. I mean, talking about drawing from real life, like there's an episode at the beginning, I think you guys probably saw it, where Candace, Josh and Emily's daughter, goes on her first sleepover, and it's been like 5 years since they've had her, that she's finally out of the house for the night, and they could do anything they want, anything. And they choose to do errands.
Oh my God. They're like getting all sexy, and they're on the bed, and then the box that says taxes on it. Like Sam and I start cracking up.
It's like, that's the only time you can do that stuff, is when they're out of the house, right?
Exactly.
And how good it feels. It's euphoric to like be able to get that stuff. Adulting is weird, man.
Yeah, and you're
Adulting
happy
is
about it. You're
weird.
like, I'm going to go to the grocery store and just walk around and just check stuff out.
So good. I work on a couple of animated series myself, and one of my favorite things about just like being in the booth is knowing that there's like a couple of characters that I'm going to be working on that day, but also knowing that there are 3 or 4 other episodes that we have to film or have to record, and there are characters that don't have voices yet. They'll just show me like some artwork of what that character looks like, or maybe like that character might not have even been animated at that point, or even drawn out, like even sketched out, but they have an idea of what they want this character to look like, where then the vocal performance can then inform the overall structure of that character from top to bottom, and then like being in the booth and just playing around and coming up with different voices and like blah blah blah, and trying to figure out what kind of life you can breathe into this character is one of my favorite things to do here. So where vocal performances are concerned, and figuring out what those tonal qualities are for each of these characters. Like how, what is that process like for you in terms of, you know, if you're casting or if you're, you know, talking to an actor that you already have in the booth, like what is it that you were trying, like getting from point A to point Z, what's like the initial goal that you set where developing these characters are concerned, and what you want them, basically what you want them to deliver to an audience?
I mean, the jokes are all there, so they get to come in and just have fun and sell them. So it's really selling the timing of the jokes and getting like a bunch of reads on certain things. For actors that are super versatile, which I am not, I'm very jealous of people who can do that. I just sound like this. That's it. We'll have them play around a little bit when we have a new character, and we'll show them the drawing of the character because we draw everything first, and explain to them like what type of person they are, and then they go with it until we click in and find it, and then we'll run the scenes, and you know, you'll get some ad libs here and there, and then it goes and it gets drawn, and we'll look for the funniest takes, and we'll try to make sure that the drawings look like they go together with the dialogue, and sometimes you'll get an ad lib that wasn't even in the script and be like, oh, we gotta draw that, that's super funny, and so you try to like work it in, and you're constantly just like tweaking it until like it's as funny as it can be like the whole way through.
That's the best. I love that.
Oh yeah, are you guys playing it? You guys have it?
Well, we have it. I think once
yeah.
we're done playing COD is when we'll show it on stream and all that. So because we don't want to like take up your time, you know, we have important things to do, right, Cloak?
It's fine.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
When and where can our viewers find the show? Like, when
It's gonna
is it
be
fully out?
It's coming out soon. It's gonna be on HBO Max on July 9th. So there will be so many good episodes, you guys. You don't even know.
Love it. Love it. One at a time, or you just unleashing the entire first season on everybody?
I think they might just unleash it all. So we'll see. Right. They might do it one at a time, but
look, that's kind of the way to go.
If it's all there, go for it. And
just
if you're the type that likes to binge, you are welcome to do it.
I think especially during this time, that really is the way to go.
Yeah, and we're not. We don't serialize the stories, so it's kind of one of those things where you can just pick any episode and it will play without having to know anything about it. So
that's fantastic.
You can jump in at any time.
Just promise me, if you make that claim now, you cannot come back later and do a to be continued episode. I will be furious. Okay, you literally joke about it too. I'm just saying, you can't do that. You can't do that to me. It's
Next
not
time
fair.
on Close Enough.
Exactly.
The only time that I will allow that to be the case is when the landlord has her own arc. That's it.
Oh,
that's when
Pearl has some episodes.
She's hilarious.
She does.
Oh yeah,
good. I love Pearl, man.
They all do. Every single one of them. So it's fun to like get, you know, a Josh episode or maybe an ensemble episode, and then Pearl. Like there's gonna be some good ones.
Now, all right, I got to do this because Cloak has been very quiet, and I think it's because his chat is spamming COD questions. I know. Don't worry, we don't blame you. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to redirect those COD questions to JG because you just recently started playing COD, didn't you?
I did for this. So
exactly.
They seriously hooked me up with all the equipment.
Your boy picked up the sticks to play, dude. Love it.
I mean, yeah.
I had to dust it off.
You're probably better than a lot of our friends already, so.
You know who Tim the Tan Man is?
I saw some videos with that guy.
He's terrible.
He's got a dent in his head, you know.
Yeah.
He plays every day, and you're already better.
Yeah, you're
I don't
literally
know,
already
guys. I was watching. When I watched you guys play, it looks like the computer's set to like hard mode. You're like, it's just zipping around to the dudes and killing them. Like, how are they doing this?
We move pretty quick.
Shot a crack. It looks like a crack, but now like 3 dudes are dead.
Yeah.
All right, so you've introduced this wonderful new show to us. We appreciate that. Now, Cloak, myself, Jordan Fisher, we're going to introduce you to probably the hardest lobbies of COD you'll ever play.
Oh, we gotta go.
No. Go! Everything's fine. No, not even worried at all. You left the man behind.
I'm going.
You still looking at us up there?
We can't sit still.
Nope. Oh, boys, this play is either going to win it for us or lose it for us. Let's see what happens.
I see him running along the edge, southwest.
God, is a fucking jump.
Oh no! The peak was so bad, Jordan. That's so bad.
Where?
He's up on. Jordan got shot from up on top of the building, I think.
Challenge that, dude.
Go rest him.
Wait, I don't know. Here we go. I sacrificed myself to get you.
Oh, he's nasty.
I'm in on the bottom floor.
Nice. I sniped one up there.
I'm
Hey guys,
crawling
they
up
have
to.
to come off. We just.
Thank you. So are they on top of the roof that we were on, or
I
are they on
think
top of
so,
the tall
I think so.
building? Yep, he's up there. He's super weak.
Down
I'm
one.
over behind the boxes.
Last guy. Oh, he's lasered. Actually, he's tagged. There's one guy left.
He's super weak. Live mark, live mark, live mark.
Let's go. They're nasty.
Very easy. Very
Very
easy.
easy. Very easy.
I just watched you guys the whole time. You guys are great.
And you looked great doing it. Don't worry.
I revived you guys a couple times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Wait, they're revival.
Those were clutch revives
Yeah.
too. We needed those.
Let's go.
Use code Dr. Lupo. Use code Dr. Lupo. Use code Dr. Lupo. Use it now, use it now. Use code Dr.